The erratic power supply we want to talk about, GUTA bemoans impact on businesses, and they're demanding a load shedding timetable. Let me just quickly delve into that story. GUTA, so power outages affected, this is on citinewsroom.com. Power outages affecting our businesses, release doomsday timetable. GUTA is speaking. Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has joined calls for the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, to release a load shedding timetable as the ongoing power interruptions are negatively affecting businesses and livelihoods across the country. Now, in a statement, GUTA highlighted the significant impact of the outages on various sectors, including agriculture, trade, and industry. Now, according to them, manufacturers are struggling to maintain production schedules and plan for their workforce due to the inconsistent power supply, which also increases production costs and worsens living conditions. Traders, shop owners, wholesalers, tailors, dressmakers, electricians, and other artisans are also facing setbacks in their businesses due to the doomsday phenomenon. Now, GUTA is demanding answers from ECG regarding the real causes of the erratic power outages and the efforts being made to fix the issues and the timeline for resolution. They also urge ECG to provide a timetable for the load shedding to enable businesses to plan their activities effectively. Now, the unpredictable power outages have led to many shop owners to resort to using generators, resulting in increased expenses for petrol to keep them operational during expected power cuts. All right, so that's what we have here, and then you can go on to read the statement as well from GUTA on that portal. Let me start with you, Kabate.
Yes, I think it's a good call by the traders and the businesses. It's actually sacrosanct call. I mean, your businesses are dying, it affects you. And the businesses, their owners, the workers, the consumers of their products and services, and the government itself is exposed to losses. What are the issues? One of the issues is our inability the inability for them to produce. I mean, for some of these people, they actually will go out of the production zone to their home somewhere else. And at the time when they come to work, that is where they locate their businesses will go off. So actually they don't have any option. You know, they will come and sit there and do nothing. And I think it's really hurting small businesses especially. And we need to look at it. It's also limiting their businesses' opportunity to expand. Of course, if you have 3 customers to start with and they are even withdrawing, then how many customers will be left after some time? So we need to really look at it. This will also raise the issue of layoffs. Some companies will have to lay off people. You know, there are some companies just when they record a few losses, people must go home. Because it's just a sole proprietor who is actually struggling to survive and also trying to bring people on board to help them. So when production cuts, I mean, there's nothing, the best austerity measure for such a business person may be to just lay off these people. Then what happens? The domestic impact. Immediately when you do that, it affects the domestic impact actually. The business owner himself is home. Is another thing to go. I mean, the immediate family members who depend on people. I mean, you see young people who are working, some of your staff over here, as young as 25, 26, 27, their mothers and their fathers depend on them. And some of them, even who have lost their own siblings, are taking care of children already, even though they have not even married. So, you know, when we talk about the dependency chain, this is how it rocks in and it affects individuals. The impact on the revenue generation of the country itself. When the companies are producing and they are expanding, the company income tax increases and then government benefits. The pay as you earn for workers also benefits government. That's also another thing. And the general economic growth of the country is affected. What's the way forward? We need to develop a timetable and share it so that people can plan, you know, and then also we have to strategically plan the supply of power. That is where we are lucky to have, let's say, industrial hubs like industrial area, where people like thermal industrial area you can plan. That's the plan of people like Kwame Nkrumah. That's the vision of the years that started us. So you can really say, oh, that side is for, you know, people and where they live, residential areas. And this side is for industrial hubs. So you can switch it as and when you face such situations. And then also maybe some companies that may need supplement or alternative energy like generator sets. If there's any loan arrangements that they can look at for them, that's good. But at the end of the day, let's not forget to advise people. I've not heard any advert that is advising people on the power use. Right now, we've moved from your ability to afford. It's actually the availability that is the issue. The generation, that's the issue. So tell people when you move, just behave like some of us who actually, even if you are going to the hall area, we can just decide to, put off the light in the bedroom. I mean, it's not about your ability to pay. It's not available. So let's all teach the children. There should be some adverts running for children and adults to know that, look, this is the crisis we find ourselves in. Let people know. NCC is there. There is Information Service Department is there. Let people know that, look, this is where we are now. Go to the churches, the mosques, go to the markets. Let people know that generally this is our problem. So put off the lights when you are not in the room. Let it be off while you walk out. Some adverts can run and we can save some energy. But this is where we are as a country. Let's accept it, bring out a timetable, and plan it well.
All right, Mesa, the number of calls have come. The latest is from GUTA. Professor Bafua Jimendua called for it, PURC called for it, several different people and organizations have called for it. And the latest is GUTA. When at all are we going to see this timetable from ECG?
Kweku, the question we must first ask is, do we need anybody to make a call on this government to give us a timetable?
But is it the government that's giving us a timetable or the company that's giving us a timetable?
Kweku, assuming it's a company, ECG. Let's assume that ECG is an independent state institution without any political interference. That's an assumption. In reality, ECG is a political entity now. But let's assume that it's an independent state entity without any political oversight. So you are a certain government. Your power management company, there's a major power crisis affecting the lives of your people and businesses. The power management company responsible for the power have decided or failed to provide a scheduling for businesses and individuals to be able to plan their lives. For over 2 months now, we have erratic power supply, on and off, on and off, on and off, destabilizing the entire economy and the lives of people. What will any reasonable, sensible government do? Watch on and put their hands in their indemnity firm and say, oh, ECG is an independent state institution, so they can do whatever they want? Is that how a government conducts itself? But Kweku, in the midst of all this, you have a Minister for Energy, under whose direct supervision the power management company ECG is busy gallivanting around in useless campaigns for running mate.
Really? Has he been campaigning?
Oh, Kweku.
No, I haven't noticed his
Kweku,
campaign.
you see, when you ask all these questions, then you force us to say things we don't want to say.
No, because I mean, our viewers.
Kweku, you don't know that. You don't know that the
energy
Energy Minister Matupoku Prempeh wants to be the running mate to Dr. Bawumia.
We've heard people suggest his name. I've heard people suggest his name.
You haven't seen him gallivanting around?
No.
Okay, I have seen him.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Really?
Gallivanting everywhere. Jumping from one place to another. Thinking that if he doesn't become the running mate to Dr. Bawumia, that's the end of the world. Whilst the people of this country wallow in total darkness and businesses disrupted, our lives disrupted. And to think that somebody, with such high level of disregard, you remember his response when they asked him whether we're going to have a timetable or...
Yeah, I remember.
You saw the kind of response he gave to us. And to think that somebody with this high level of disregard for citizens wants to assume the second highest position of the land. Kweku, where did we go wrong as a country, as a people? Where did we miss? Let's go back and find our way, because we lost road. We have totally lost road. We have totally lost road. That even the smallest level of sensitivity and seriousness that you expect that the oversight ministry in times of these crises will come out and provide Ghanaians with some assurance. We saw that in 2015 when we hit the major power crisis. The then Prime Minister came out and said, and assumed responsibility of the crisis and said, if I don't fix this within this period of month, I'm putting my job down. Today we have the same sector minister, another sector minister in the same position, in the midst of similar or even worse crisis. Who is not assuming responsibility, is not admitting responsibility, refusing to give us a timetable, but instead of him resigning, he wants to assume the second highest position of the land. What kind of, are we comedians in this? What kind of joke is this? That now we can't even hold people accountable. So now the yardstick to assume the highest position of the land or the second highest position of the land is failure. Once you know how to fail and disrespect Ghanaians, you can contest for vice president or president.
But I think prior to this, he seems to have done quite a good job. I mean, he was touted as one of the leading ministers of Akufo-Addo's regime.
As what? As Minister for Energy? Or as Minister for Education, where he previously
Initially education and then also energy. You haven't heard it? Because we also hate, I mean, you know.
That he was part of the best.
Yes.
Well, in the land of blind men, the one-eyed man is king. If you have, I mean, I can't even begin to describe, you know, the kind of ministers we've had under Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo's ministers. So, I'm not surprised you are saying Napo is among the best.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, I'm saying he was touted as one of
By who?
Oh, I mean, it was in the newspapers and all of that, you know. There was a time when his face was in different papers all the time and he was...
Well, we live in a country where we celebrate failed people, failures, we don't hold people to account. People are not even held account to their own words anymore. Their own words. People will come and tell us if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And then when under their watch, the exchange rate exposes them, they say, no, but it's not because the fundamentals are weak. You see, such double standards, such hypocrisy, right. You know, blame sharing, you know, I mean, failure to accept responsibility.
All right, thank you.
You know, so what is the problem with admitting that indeed we are in a crisis and that government is taking steps to resolve the difficulties with the erratic power supply? What is wrong with that? How is that so difficult to do by a government who has been given so much? How difficult to issue a simple statement that, look, Ghanaians, we ran into an economic crisis that has affected government's ability to purchase light crude and gas to power our thermal plants. And so as we speak, we are owing the IPPs who are supplying power to us. As we speak, we are owing the gas suppliers to over $600 million we haven't paid. But the government is taking steps to address the financial challenges and difficulties with gas procurement. And at the right time, we will restore the power.
But didn't they say it's not doom, so it's doom CACA, because they are in the process of fixing things?
So that is part of the problem. Because if your mother is dead and you say your mother is asleep, and you still want to give her injections, you still want to waste taxpayers' money and give your dead mother injections, thinking, trying to revive her, when you yourself, you know that your mother is dead.
Okay, thank you.
Kwaku, tell us, because Kwaku, we sitting here, Kwaku, do you need to be told that we are in doom so?
No.
If I wake up in the morning and I don't get electricity to power, the whole people are sleeping, people are sweating.
Friday, Saturday, I think it was just yesterday, the light didn't go off during the day, but Friday all day light was off.
Kwaku, I've seen-
Saturday, all day light was off.
I've seen some distressing
So,
images of people
I don't know.
taking, like recording short videos, like in their rooms during the night. The heat, the sweat.
But have you noticed that there's actually been some heat from February?
Yes, the heat wave.
this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
The heat wave.
and it's been constant.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a heat.
Yes, the heat wave in the atmosphere.
I'm really wondering.
And can you,
Climate change issues, and we are cutting our trees down for
yes,
firewood.
yes.
and can you imagine that in the midst of this heat wave,
Do you know what? We have
in
to
the darkness, people are sweating, people can't sleep in their beds anymore,
let's take a break. We'll
and
come back.
all these
Okay.
people, you don't have any out of sympathy and respect for them.
All right.